Well, hey everybody. It's the 6th day of February 2025. I'm Jan Erickson, and this is As Above, So Below. On the snowy high desert. I don't know when it's supposed to thaw or melt. I don't know. I think we've got another maybe week of this, but I don't know. Temperatures are going to be pretty low for a while, so this might stick around for a while. That's okay. We can still get out of the driveway, so anyhow. Let's go ahead and get started, and I'll take a rune from the Elder Futhark bag for the above side of things. For the higher self side. Oh, we have Tiwaz. Did we have Tiwaz? Oh, we had Tiwaz on Monday. Yeah, Tiwaz is the 17th rune of the Elder Futhark. It's the represents Tyr. It also represents the spiritual warrior within. It's sort of a male type of, or a masculine or projective type of, or active type of a rune. It's about faith and justice, and having oaths, taking oaths, and sacrificing on behalf of others. It could also indicate legal matters. So, if you've got some legal things going on today, stand up for yourself, because sometimes you're the only one who does. So, or maybe you're here to stand up for someone else. If you're an attorney, maybe you have a case today. Let's see the below side of things. There's fire. Where's air? There's earth. That's air there. So we're looking at a missio. Now, a missio is an interesting rune. It's the complement of acquisitio, which is gain, and so a missio would be increase. A missio would be loss or decrease. I'm sorry. I've got acquisitio in my head here, but this is a missio. Acquisitio would be gain. This would be loss. It can be simply about. If you look at it just from an energetic standpoint, acquisitio could be the increase of something, increase of energy, increase of a problem, even increase of a solution. This could be a decrease of a problem. But it could also mean a hesitance to engage, or maybe needing more reliability and more security. So it could be that where you have Tiwaz here, there may be a hesitance to stand up for either for yourself or for somebody else, or a particular cause, or a particular belief. And maybe you need more information is basically what it's suggesting before you do something like that. With Tiwaz, with higher awareness, you know what it is you need to do. And so maybe there's not so much of that right now. Maybe some things just aren't clear, and you need a little more confidence about what you know before you can actually stand up for yourself, or assert yourself in some way that is, either, again, on behalf of yourself or others. If it is a legal situation you're dealing with, then it could just simply mean that you need more information, you need more facts before you know what direction to go. And so again, if it's you that's having the legal problem, or you're somebody that represents others, if you're an attorney, then it may be that not all the facts are known, and you need a little more information before you can set your course, so to speak. But we'll see. Let's see what the cards have to say, and I'll cut the deck and take the lower half. Throw some cards on the floor. See if I can see it. I don't see it. Oh no, it's right there. Okay, let's see what that one was. Well, the Knight of Wands, we're going to set that aside. Anytime you drop a card, or in my case, sometimes you'll drop 4 or 5. Sometimes it's an outlier, or it could be something that you need to know. The Knight of Wands, if that's the case, then you're looking at, knights, of course, are always on a quest. This is a spiritual quest. And there's some risk involved. It could be saying whatever's going on here, the Knight of Wands is willing to take the risks. But again, having your ducks in a row matters too. And so instead of just going and doing that, then maybe, it's something where you need to gather a little more facts before you do all of that. Well, we have it's a court extravaganza. We have the Page of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. And if we look at, Mr. Risk Taker here, we may have that as a factor too, but I'm going to leave that over here because it doesn't necessarily mean that. But right now you're looking at the Page of Cups. Again, there's no numerology for the reading other than from Tiwaz. And so if it's the 17th rune, you're looking at an 8 numerology for the reading. But when you have court cards, there's no number associated with them. So, I mean, you could do that. Page would be 11, Knight would be 12, Queen would be 13, and King would be 14 if you want to do it that way. I don't know anyone who does, but I think there probably are people that do that, if they want to have a little bit more numerology attached to the reading, but we don't need to do that today. With an 8 numerology, you're looking at strength and inner strength, and you're looking at leadership, material recognition, and approval. So with the Page of Cups, though, you're looking at somebody who is again a youthful energy. You've got 2 youthful energies. The Knight's older, and then the King, of course, is the oldest. Here you have again, you see the dual line here separating the water from the ground there. You've got cups it reflects the water element, so you see lots of blues and you have the water here. Here you have a youthful person, a student possibly, who's holding a chalice in his or her, depending on the deck, it could be the Princess of Cups. The more hermetic decks use that, like the Thoth Tarot, they use probably used Princess of Cups instead of Page. A lot of your hermetic decks do. But anyway, it's difficult to know by looking at the individual if it's a boy or a girl. It could be a girl with short hair for all we know, but it will just say it's a boy. And he has a lot of confidence. He has a lot of imagination about himself. He's intuitive. Sometimes when you see this paired with other cards, like if we had the Empress here, for example, this might signal the birth of a child. But we don't here today. Instead, we're trying to summon up the will, if you will, to sacrifice maybe on behalf of others by standing up and speaking out on behalf of others, speaking out on behalf of a cause maybe. With the Knight of Pentacles, here you're looking at a young man who's come through his student days, and now you have, such as with the Knight here, this one's going in one direction. Air does the same thing, so swords would go in the same direction, whereas the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups would be going in this direction. So I say going forward, and this is backwards, to the past, trying to deal with something from the past maybe. But here you have this guy that's the visor's up, so there's no battle happening. He's on this beautiful black horse. And he's holding out a coin there, looking at it, maybe doing it an offering. The same with the Knight of Cups, the same sort of stance where it looks like they're holding something out in offering. Of course, it would be compassion and love and empathy and support with the Knight of Cups. But with the Pentacles, you're looking at the earth element, and so that's material security. And again, if we're looking at an 8 numerology for the reading with material recognition and approval, there could be a level of security involved there. Maybe some monetary support for the village. You can see that he's sort of up on just this one little level. You can see this level is higher. But it's almost like he's sitting up there guarding and watching and protecting, and basically he's very dependable, he's very practical, he's wise, he's realistic in what he has to offer. And so maybe in terms of support for other people, Knights would go around and maybe protect areas. If you think about a Knight that way, especially in terms of Pentacles and Cups, then maybe the support that you're offering has to be focused less emotionally and more practically and rationally and realistically. The King of Swords, on the other hand, we have somebody, a guy in authority here. He's analytical. He's somebody that is logical and powerful and clever. As with the well, maybe not as much as with the queen, who doesn't suffer fools and expects you to come to her with honesty and clarity and no deception at all. She beckons people to come to her, but the sword is straight up and down. Here, his sword is a little bit askew. So there could be somebody in power today that isn't telling you the truth about something. Whether it's in your personal life or collectively around the country you live in, or in the society you live in, or in the town you live in, there could be something going on where maybe people in the town, for example, may have come and filed a lawsuit against something that's going on that the city council or decided on behalf of the town. And they say, well, we don't like that. And so they go and they sue them, right? It could be something like that, particularly with Tiwaz in the mix here and the legal issues that could be. Excuse me. But then you have Amicio that's saying, well, yeah, you need to do this, but you also need some more information. And the Knight of Pentacles would be reinforcing that with his own offering of practicality and dependability and realism. I would say if it was the Knight of Swords, I might be saying, well, this one's trying to go and instead of the King of Swords, the Knight might be trying to go back and right a wrong and want to just head off and speed off in quickly, and as there's a swiftness about that particular one. But with the Knight of Pentacles, it's saying no, you do need to have more information about what's going on here today. And again, with the Page of Cups, you have confidence. You're going to use discretion in what you do. Your intuition is going to guide you. But at the same time, you're dealing with someone very powerful, or a force that's very powerful, and you either need to summon that power within to be able to analyze what's going on. You might look at the king that way, and be very logical about it and assert yourself in a very authoritative way when you have all the facts. And again, with Tiwaz, that's going to align well with that. But if the king is representing what you're coming up against, then obviously you need more information. You need to have your ducks in a row before you even approach this person, or before you do whatever it is you need to do. Take your message to that person and suggest, we're going in the wrong direction here. This is not helping anything. It could be something like that. But again, before you assert yourself, you need to know what the real facts of the situation are, so that you present your case in a way that is that you're going to win, right? If this is a situation at work, maybe, where you see something going on and you need to, and it's going to impact things in a really negative way, or complicate things, and you want to bring all that to the boss and say, look, I don't think this is really what we should be doing, and here's why. Again, the reading is suggesting you need more information. You need to feel really secure in what you're about to say. So you get your ducks in a row. You get everything the way you need them to be, to where when this guy questions you, then you're ready for him, right? And again, intuition's a factor, but at the same time, you've got to balance that with doing your due diligence and getting all your ducks in a row, getting your facts in front of you, and being able then to it's like when you are doing you're defending your dissertation. You'll go there and the committee or whatever it is that does this, I suppose it's committee, and I should ask my daughter-in-law. I have a daughter-in-law with a PhD, but you go and you defend yourself. and you defend what your premise is in your dissertation, that this is what I started out with, and this is what I discovered, and this is the facts along the way. I have no idea. Hers is in neuroscience, so I have no idea what that would look like. But had I gone on in psychology, then I would have had a premise, and I would have done my research and my due diligence, and been ready at the time that I go for the PhD thing. And so when I submit it, and then you get called and you go in and you defend yourself, if you can't do that, well, then you're probably not going to be awarded your PhD. And so whatever this is for you today, your intuition is important. Show some compassion for yourself at the same time. Don't get yourself in a position, provide your own support, if you will, and don't get yourself in a position that you can't defend. And take as measured approach as you can and as diligent approach as you can, so that you understand everything about it as much as humanly possible before you then go and either express yourself in a way that stands up for others in a rational and logical and analytical way, that leaves no stone unturned, basically. Or if this represents the individual you've got to come up against, that you're ready for him, for whatever comes from this guy. And it's kind of, battling David versus Goliath. Well, Goliath lost, so you'll be fine. But but at the same time, you want to be sure, that pay attention to the hesitance, pay attention to the need for more reliability and for more information, because that's telling you something. Coupled with, the Page of Cups, it could be your intuition is saying, hey, wait a minute, you're not ready. Make sure you're ready before you engage here today with whatever this represents for you. And again, it could go a lot of different ways, legal or at work, where you're trying to present something to a boss, or if you're trying to deal with somebody that's an authority that's doing things to others, and you're maybe filing a lawsuit against them. You've got to have your ducks in a row when you do that. And I don't think we need another card. I just think that I'm trying to keep this as general as possible here. But I really think it began with Tiwaz and Amicio, where you need to assert yourself, but you need more facts before you can. So anyhow, I think that the cards just reinforced it all. So I don't think it really took us in another direction, in other words. So anyhow, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you are inundated with snow, we're not inundated. Southern Oregon looks worse than what it is here. I think it was supposedly, rumor had it was starting to stick in Portland yesterday, but then I don't know. You never know. Portland's strange that way. They're low enough in elevation that the foothills above may get something. You might see a little something there up where the Oregon Health Sciences Center is, but then you look down at the bottom there and there's nothing. So it's hard to tell. But when Portland gets it, but usually they get freezing rain or they get what's called a silver thaw, and you really can't go out because the roads have got, yay much ice on them, and they're just impassable. So, but I haven't heard yet today if that's going on. But anyway, again, thanks for watching, and check out the blog over at Stepping Aside. I changed my theme on it, so it looks a little bit different. Changed the header on it and stuff. I was playing around with it. I do that periodically. I try to do it once a year. Sometimes I do it more, but just because I get bored looking at it the way it is. But anyway, check that out. Everything will go up on the blog and be published at the correspondences, and the forecasts will come out on Sunday morning in the midnight hour. And so it's all there. I'm no longer on Medium. I'm not writing there anymore because of who owns it. And I am still on Substack. We'll see how long I stay there. Otherwise, it just may end up being the blog and here. So anyway, again, thanks for watching, and do come back on Monday for another edition of As Above, So Below. Be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.